Hello, beloved. It is Jen from the Crystal Maven. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into my channel and watching this video today. So, beloved, would you like to hear a story? Would you like to hear about how I met Moses at the gas station today? Yes, Moses, as in burning bush Moses, as in parting the Red Sea, let my people go. Biblical Moses. Yes, I would love to share that story with you because with all of the crazy shit that has been happening to me in my life here lately, of course, most definitely dealing with the energy shifts that we have going on. We are like 48 hours up on the Gemini full moon. We're in Sagittarius. Jupiter has left my my home planet, has left my home sign and has moved into Capricorn, which is an amazing thing on all levels for all of us. And we're going into the next decade. Y'all, the level up is real. Like, if some seriously magical shit or just some seriously coincidental shit or just like some seriously, wait a minute, what the fuck is not happening in your life, then you're not paying attention. Like, seriously. Like, come on. Like, join the tribe and catch the vibes. Speaking of that, if you're not following me on Instagram, which is my social media domicile, by all means, please come say hello to your girl, okay? Come join the tribe and feel the vibes. We are just, doing the best that we can to help each other through this journey. I post all types of videos on crystals, chakras, energies, all of those things that help us heal from the inside. So come on over, say hello to your girl, and, be a part of the fam. So this morning, okay, Saturday night, Sunday morning, I went over to the newspaper setup for the people who carry the newspapers because they're shorthanded, and on Sunday it's a lot of newspapers on Sunday. More people get Sunday paper than get regular paper. So I went over to help because they're shorthanded. And so, I helped, bag up papers and put papers together and, stack people's cars up with paper. I'm getting the paper out. Like, legit. I got 2.5 hours for a couple of $100 a week. Hello? Okay. So, so, I was helping out with that, and I was helping pack everybody up and got everybody on their way. Came back home, no biggie, sat on the couch, played some PlayStation with my babe. That was that. So on Monday, I went back. Monday morning, I went back. This morning, right here, I went back because you go at midnight. So it's like, to me, it's like Monday. You know what I'm saying? I went back again and helped again. And I actually went on the paper route with Christine. So when we got done with the paper route and we came back to the base, she gave me $40, and she's like, I only have 2 20s. I owe you 10. Thank you so much for coming and helping on Saturday. You have no idea how much you helped. And I'm like, I was not expecting this. This is what's up. Like, yes, I most definitely appreciate you. Like, you owe me 10. Okay. I wasn't expecting one. So let's go on ahead. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Let's go on ahead and count our blessings for that. You know what I mean? So I take the $40, and like, y'all, this morning I was like flat broke. I was flat broke because I'm waiting on a download from, not a download, a deposit. I'm waiting on a deposit from the website, from, sales, readings, bracelets, rosewater, stuff like that. So I'm actually waiting on a deposit to come in. And so, I was just waiting on my deposit. So that $40 came in, and I was like, yes, that's what's up. I can go ahead and put gas in the car. It's all good. So I go to the Wawa. Now, if you guys don't have a Wawa, then it's probably like a Royal Farms or something like that. I don't know, but a Wawa is a gas station if you don't have one. Right. So I go to the Wawa, right? walk into Wawa with my $40 thinking I'm cute. Just thankful, just grateful, just like, oh, like I was not expecting this. So I walk in and I'm looking to get some breakfast sandwiches, but they don't have them up yet because it's like 3:30 in the morning. So I asked the girl, I was like, what time do the breakfast sandwiches come out? And she's like, oh, they come out around 5, but if you want some, I could get some made for you. I was like, yes. So got me some breakfast sandwiches made. I got me a cup of coffee, filled up the gas tank. I go out to the car, put the stuff in the car. I fill up the gas tank. While I'm like putting the gas cap back on the tank and I'm closing the tank, this man walks past me. Regular looking man, And like I don't even like notice, he just walks past like he's walking to the store. And then he turns around. After he walks past me, he turns around and he says, hello, how are you today? And I'm like, hi, how are you doing? And he's like, my name is Moshief. He's like, my name is Moshief. I think that's how he said it. And he said, I am from Jerusalem. I am here in the United States on a work visa. I work with the United States military to help translate for the Middle Eastern people that are coming over into the United States. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Like you're a translator. That's cool, And so he was like, yes. And y'all, like, you have to understand, like, this man had like the heaviest, like he had the thickest accent, but he was speaking proper English. So his accent was just ridiculous, but he was speaking proper English. So I could understand exactly what it was that he was saying. He wasn't like, what I'm saying? He was like, you know what I am saying? Like he was talking like that. So I could understand what he was saying, but his accent was just way over there. Okay. So, and so I'm talking to him and he said, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to work with the United States military, to be able to help with the translation and understanding of cultures and how we can come together to try to build a better bridge of understanding. I was like, wow, yes, that is amazing. Okay. Like, yeah, I'm like, I'm jealous of your life right now. Like, most definitely. So he says, he says they treat us really good. He said they give us a place to stay. We are staying over at, one of the nicer extended stay motels. And he said they give us clothes. He said, I wouldn't choose to wear this. Like, and I'm talking about, he was low key doing something. Like, he had on black jeans. He had on, like they looked like they were brand new. Some New Balance tennis shoes, like some black New Balance tennis shoes, nothing, and, how, nowadays, like Nike and Adidas and like the sports brands, they make the hoodies that don't have their logos on them, but they just have like the printed patterns for like, working out and stuff like that. So he had on like one of those hoodies, and he had on, is that a fedora? I don't know, but he had like the, the shorter hair, but he had the beard, he had the beard. It was, it wasn't long. It was short, like right here, but he had like, you could look at him and tell that he was from, you know what I'm saying? Over across the water. And so he was saying that, he was enjoying it and he was really loving it. And that they were treating him well. He was glad to be here, and that when his work visa is up, that he is going to gain citizenship here, and so he's going to be glad to be living in the country and all that other stuff. So I was like, that's pretty freaking awesome. So he was like, well, the reason that I came over is because we have to we're on our way to go to Smithfield. Now I live in Smithfield, but we were over in a completely different city, over in Hampton. So, and that's about 25, could be 30 minutes away, depending on what part you're going to. So he was saying, but we only have $2 for the gas tank. And I'm on my way into the Wawa because the manager here works with us and helps us out. And sometimes she helps us out with food and gas so that we can get around. When their per diem or their stipend like runs out and they have places to go. He said, and I was on my way in the store, and this spirit just told me to ask this young lady standing right here. So, if it's possible, do you mind, helping us out with anything? It really doesn't matter. I'm only stopping because spirit spoke to me. And I'm like, sure. I reach in my pocket and I pull out $10. That's what I had left over. I pulled out $10. Gave it to him. I got my food. I got my full tank of gas. What? I'm out here circulating. What? Making it rain. So I gave it to him. And, he was legit just like, he didn't even look at it. You know how you can ask somebody for like $1? And if you're like, oh, I don't have $1, but here I got $5. And they'd be like, oh my God, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that he dismissed it. I'm saying that it honestly didn't matter whether it was $1 or $25. I feel like he would have given the same response because I honestly feel like he literally didn't come for the money. So I handed him the $10, and he was like, I really do appreciate it. I'm so glad that I decided to listen. Sometimes when spirit speaks to us, we're too busy and we don't listen. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And he was like, what do you do? And I told him, I was like, well, right now, I'm just coming from helping, someone else with a paper route and, stuff like that. And he was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, what do you really do? And I was like, so the first thing that flies out of my mouth whenever anybody asks me what I do that doesn't already know what I do, like people who, get readings from me or follow me, they'll ask me, Jen, what do you do? And I'll tell them, I'm like, I translate and interpret energy. That's what I do. Okay, I translate and interpret energy, and I use different tools to do it. I use my intuition. I use oracle cards. I use crystals. I use scripting, things like that. But whenever anyone that does not know me and is like just meeting me or whatever, whenever anybody asks me what I do, the first thing that flies out of my mouth is I make jewelry. That's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. So I told him, I said, oh, I make jewelry. And he said, my wife makes jewelry. And he pulled up his sleeve and he showed me like a onyx chip bracelet that she had made. And he said, she made this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I made this. So I pulled up my sleeve and I showed him my bracelet. And he was like, yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. He said, sometimes I actually gather up her things and I bring out my blanket and I come out here and I sit out on the corner and I sell her things. And I was like, that's cute. And he was like, yeah. He says, my son loves to do it. My daughter loves to do it. They all love to help their mother out. He was like, my wife is Egyptian. And so she loves to just take anything and make a bracelet out of it or make a necklace out of it. And, he pulled out his phone and he started showing me some of the jewelry that she makes. So then he started showing me pictures of his family, of him and his family, his son and his daughter and his wife, in Jerusalem and in Egypt and, in the Middle East. And then also pictures of them here in America, and he's like, he's like, I don't really think I have anything to do with how I dress now. I wouldn't choose this, And so he's like laughing and I'm laughing. And, so then he says to me, he says, He said it weird, and I'm trying to say it the exact way that he said it. He said, I am a psychologist of the self. And I didn't like it. It didn't seem weird to me at the time. He said he's a psychologist. I'm like, okay. He said, yes, that is my study. I went to school. I study. I am a psychologist. I'm a professional psychologist of the self. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You're a psychologist. You're a psychologist. So he started, how when you start talking about what you do and you're passionate about what you do, you start talking fast. He went from like 0 to Hebrew in like 2.5 seconds. I don't even think that he realized he was speaking a different language. Like when like he just hyper jumped. And so when he saw me, when he saw my eyes like kind of glaze over, he looked at me and he said, I study the way that people look at life. The glass is always half full. It all depends on how you look at the glass. It doesn't matter about the situation. It doesn't matter about the circumstance. It matters about how you respond. And that is how you view yourself and the world. And I was like, right. And he was like, okay. I explain it different. He said, when a person stands in the mirror and they look at themselves in the mirror, what they see and who they see is what I study. And I was like, nice. Okay, I got you. You are a psychologist of the self. I got you. I see what you're saying. So we're standing there and we're talking, and he's like, people have to take the time to learn themselves. We have to take responsibility for our actions. We have to find out what our triggers are. We have to know where our triggers come from. We all know we get triggers from mother or society or, outside forces. We have to learn who we are on the inside so that we can be who we are on the outside. Y'all, I'm looking at this man and I'm like, right. Like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, okay, so are we like really having this conversation right now? Because y'all, I'm talking about we started going deep. I mean, like, I done started talking by now. So now I'm like, I don't think that people really want to take the responsibility. And he was like, exactly. No one wants to take the responsibility. Like, I mean, we're going back and forth. Like, he's talking to me about what he has devoted to and been studying for the last 3 decades of his life. And I'm talking to him about what it is that lights the fire in my heart. And we're on the same level. We're talking about the same thing. I'm finishing his sentences. He's finishing my sentences. Every last thing that we say to each other ends up in both of us saying, yep, it's true. It's true. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And so, yeah. And so after however long that was, I honestly don't know how long it was. And he was just like, well, sister, I'm so glad to meet you. And, do you have a card? I could keep in touch with you. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And I grabbed a card and I said, oh, shoot, none of my business cards have anything except for my social media information on it. And he said, no, that's fine. I'll follow you. That's fine. He said, I met you. We are connected now. I've met you. I've met you before. We are connected. And I was like, okay. And he looked at my cards, the Crystal Maven cards, and he said, oh, I see you have amethyst on your third eye. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, see, I've met you before. We are connected. And he was just like, bye. It was nice to meet you. And I'm like, wait a minute, what was your name again? Because if he starts following me or if I bump into him again, I want to be able to say, hey, you know. So I said, wait a minute, what was your name again? And he said, Moshiach. My name is Moshiach. It means Moses in English. And he walked away. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Okay. So, beloved, that is how I met Moses at the gas pump this morning. I am still trying to figure out what message, what blessing that this moment holds in my life. Because I've been telling you guys for I don't know how long. If you've been following me, if you've been getting readings from me, if you've been coming to the lives, if you've been, just anything, pick any post from the last 3 weeks. I've been telling you guys, we're going through an energy shift. We are going through the level up. We're entering into, first of all, we came into Sagittarius. Second of all, Jupiter moved into Capricorn. Third of all, we had the new moon in Sagittarius. Wait a minute. New moon in Sagittarius first. Capricorn moving into, Jupiter moving into Capricorn second. Third of all, we're coming up on the full moon in Gemini, and we're going to have another new moon before the end of the decade, and we're going into another decade. Like, beloved, if just like, like I said, if crazy, magical, mystical, synchronistic, just what the hell was that shit is not happening in your life, then you're not paying attention. You need to pay closer attention because it is happening. It's most definitely happening. I mean, I know it's happening tenfold for me. Like, I tell y'all all the time, like, I'm going through the same shit that y'all are going through. I just happen to have written this rodeo a couple of times to just already know up front everything is going to be fine. So I don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I don't trip out when shit just fucking goes crazy. Because I'm like, yeah, this is going to be like the 8th time shit's went crazy in my life. So I'm like, whatevs. But that doesn't mean that, I'm saying, I don't have to make adjustments and I don't feel any kind of way. And I don't have to, I'm saying, I have to do all of these things. My energy is most definitely changing. My intuition is kicking my ass right now. My dreams are ridiculously lucid. My ability to translate and download messages has changed like completely. I wasn't even able to read or interpret card messages for like 2 straight days. It was just like, what is happening? And then it just switched over like a freaking light switch. And now I don't even read cards the same way that I did before. Like, y'all, it's happening. It's happening. Okay? It's not just happening to me, it's happening to you. And it's not just happening to you, it's happening to me too. So I am here with you, okay? But I had to let y'all know about that because I was like, I just fucking met Moses at the gas station. That just like completely blew me because first of all, I wasn't even expecting to get the money that I got to go to the gas station and fill up my car. Then, my girl Christine, she's like, well, I owe you $10. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then when he comes and he asks me, can I help? I just happen to have $10 to give him. And unless this man has been stalking me on social media and has somehow put a tracking device in my truck so that he knows where I am and when to come up on me to talk to me about what it is that I literally do on a regular, almost day-to-day basis, then that is not a synchronicity. That is something beyond that. And I have literally been trying to wreck my brain. Like, okay, what is the lesson? What is the message? What is it? I'm here. I'm listening. I'm open. What is it? But, you know, due time, all that other good stuff, you know, divine timing. So, I love you guys. You know, thanks for joining me for this story time. If you enjoyed it, please give a thumbs up. If you know someone that should watch this video, by all means, please send it to them, okay? Please subscribe to my channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed that either. You know, if you've been following me for a while, my voice has changed, and it's been changing for almost a month and a half now. It started off with a little and now it's just completely doing something else. I don't know what's up with that either, but hey, you know, who knows? I love you guys. I will talk to you later. I have a video coming up about Sagittarius, of course, because I have not done my sign. It's due diligence since we have been here, and you know I need to. Y'all already know I'm a raging car carrying Sagittarian all day long and twice on Tuesday. So I'll see y'all then. All right? All right. Bye.